My name is Savannah Hernandez, and I'm a Turning Point USA contributor, and I actually went in August of 2019 to go highlight the atrocities of the CCP and what they were doing to the people over there, because the people truly were fighting for democracy. Now, here at home in the United States, I do a lot of man-on-the-street reporting. They will burn the American flag. When I was in Hong Kong, they were flying the American flag because, of course, the Hong Kongers wanted freedom. They wanted to be, free from the government's oppression. They were downing facial recognition towers, and it was very interesting to go over there because it highlighted for me what we need to fight against coming here to the United States of America, and how important freedom is, freedom of speech, freedom to criticize your government. I was speaking to Hong Kongers who were actually disappeared by the government because they spoke out. They had family members who would just go missing because they didn't like the facial recognition. They didn't like what Xi Jinping was doing to the people. They didn't like that they were coming in and trying to impede on the autonomy of Hong Kong. So very important to go over there and for Americans to focus in on what is happening in China. I wasn't in college at that point, but I was just graduated. So I did get to speak to a lot of these younger kids who were, taking time outside of school to go march, to go push back, to go fight back against the Chinese police that were coming in and trying to crack down on these peaceful pro-democracy protests. And if you look at the next generation that is being raised, they think that communism is a good thing. They think that socialism is a good thing. You were talking about how the Chinese have, infiltrated our schools. We do have the Confucius Institute, right, that was involved in our universities, that was teaching the next generation to accept these types of ideologies. Like I said, I was probably filming your American flags that were being flown in August, so that's incredible to see how, those two things collided. But you have American children here that are being raised. You have the next generation that is so willingly asking the government to take away their rights and freedoms. They're trying to, allow the government to come in and take care of them. But when you really do apply that, what ends up happening is something similar to what we're seeing in China. The people are not allowed to speak out. I mean, how many Chinese millionaires have been disappeared and then they reappear and they never speak badly about the Chinese government again?
When I was there in July of 2019, before COVID, I did a live video on Facebook from my hotel room, and I said, it feels like God is waving a red flag right now to the rest of the world, saying, pay attention to what is happening to these people here in Hong Kong, because what happens here is actually happening everywhere else, but you just don't notice it yet. And I said, in a snap of a finger, it can be everywhere. And now we saw it. All of a sudden, 6 months later, we had COVID and everything shut down. And all of a sudden, the entire world became the CCP. You couldn't speak. You couldn't go where you wanted. You couldn't do what you wanted. You couldn't even take care of your own medical care. It really does happen that fast. People need to pay attention.